That Friday evening started like any other, except for the fact that I had been looking forward to spending time together all week. Work had been exhausting, and I thought maybe we could go out for dinner, laugh a little, and reconnect. But instead, when I got home, the living room was empty. The only thing waiting for me was a short note on the table. "Going out with the girls. Don't wait up." My chest tightened. It wasn't the first time she had made plans without telling me, but lately it had been happening more and more. She'd been distant, less interested in talking, always glued to her phone and finding excuses to avoid spending evenings with me. I called her phone, but she didn't answer. A few minutes later, a text came through. "Relax, I'm with friends. I'll be late." I stared at the screen, a mix of frustration and sadness building inside me. I wasn't the jealous type, but being left out repeatedly, especially without a simple conversation, made me feel invisible. Over the past few weeks, I'd noticed a pattern. Every Friday night, she and her friends would end up at the same expensive restaurant, ordering meals and drinks like it was a celebration. And every single time, it was my credit card footing the bill. That morning, I had seen the latest statement in her purse. The numbers weren't small, but it wasn't just about the money. It was about the principle. She seemed to enjoy the lifestyle my hard work provided, yet had no interest in sharing any of it with me. That stung more than the charges themselves. So, when she mentioned another girls' night coming up, I simply smiled and said, "Sure, have fun." I already knew what I was going to do. The plan was simple, but sharp. The moment she sat down to order with her friends, she'd find out her precious little dinner wasn't going to be on me. That night, I watched her leave in her favorite dress, heels clicking confidently against the floor. I waited 10 minutes after she was gone, then opened my banking app and blocked her credit card. I could already imagine her face when the waiter came back and told her the payment didn't go through. She wanted independence from me on her terms. Well, I was about to give her a taste of what that really looked like. The rooftop bar on 5th Street in Austin, Texas, was buzzing with laughter and clinking glasses when she arrived. The kind of place where everyone was dressed to impress, and the air smelled of expensive perfume and ambition. Her friends greeted her with hugs and cheers, already engrossed in stories and selfies for Instagram. I knew she thrived in this environment, surrounded by people who adored her looks and the lifestyle she flaunted, where status was currency and appearances were everything. She slid into the booth, flashing a smile that was just a little too practiced, the kind that said, "Look at me, I'm having the time of my life." The waiter approached, and she confidently handed over the credit card, the one I just canceled. The first sign that something was off came when he swiped the card, and the machine refused to connect. A polite smile masked his confusion as he tried again, but the card was declined. She glanced at him, trying to stay composed, then swiped it one more time, hoping it was a glitch. Her friends noticed immediately, their conversation faltering as they exchanged quick glances. "Are you okay?" one whispered, suspicion creeping into her tone. She nodded, her fingers trembling slightly as she tried to insert the card again. The waiter returned with a sympathetic smile, but shook his head. "Sorry, ma'am, it's not going through." For the first time that night, the confident facade cracked. The friends exchanged awkward smiles, some whispering under their breath, while others gave her a look that said, "What's going on?" Her cheeks flushed a deep red, not just from the cold breeze of the rooftop, but from the embarrassment of being publicly exposed. She excused herself to the restroom, leaving her friends to stare at empty seats and half-finished drinks. Behind closed doors, her phone buzzed with multiple missed calls and a few texts from me, none of which she answered. I imagined the panic rising in her chest as she realized I had taken control of the one thing she thought was hers: the financial freedom to live this double life. The night stretched on, and she returned to the table, forced smiles pasted on her face, but the damage was done. The whispers followed her, and the photos she tried to snap for social media seemed hollow and staged. I wasn't there to witness the whole scene, but through mutual friends, I heard every detail. That night wasn't just an embarrassment for her. It was a wake-up call. The next morning, the atmosphere at home on Oak Lane in Seattle, Washington, was heavy, thicker than any argument we'd ever had. She avoided my eyes, her movements slow and hesitant, as if every step was weighed down by the night before. When I asked about the canceled card, she gave a tight smile and said, "I don't know what happened. Maybe a bank error." But I knew better. That night had cracked something open between us, and no amount of denial could patch it up. In the days that followed, I noticed subtle changes. She stopped going out as often. Her laughter was quieter, and she seemed distracted, caught in a web of guilt and frustration. We started talking again, but the conversations felt like walking on thin ice. Careful, guarded, and easily broken. For the first time, she admitted the truth. How much she relied on the life I provided, how she'd taken it for granted, and how embarrassed she felt when everything came crashing down in front of her friends. It wasn't about the money, at least not just the money. It was about respect and honesty. I told her that trust isn't built on expensive dinners or designer bags, but on being partners, sharing joys and struggles alike. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks, finally understanding the cost of the choices she'd made. That experience became a turning point. We both realized that the comfortable patterns we'd fallen into were slowly eroding the foundation of our relationship. We decided to rebuild, starting with small steps, honest conversations, shared responsibilities, and making time for each other again without distractions or secrets. I never told her that canceling the card was my way of testing how much she valued us beyond the surface. I wanted her to see that a relationship isn't a luxury item you flaunt to the world, but a commitment that needs nurturing, respect, and trust. That lesson came at a cost, but it was a cost worth paying if it meant saving what was real between us. Sometimes, tough love is the only way to wake someone up from a dream built on illusions. And in that moment of embarrassment and honesty, we found a chance to heal and grow together.